Manchester United may have just received a major boost in their hunt for Richard Ríos, and this is the kind of opportunity that could shape their summer transfer window. The Benfica midfielder has been strongly linked with a move to Old Trafford, and the latest update suggests United are being handed a much better chance to get the deal done than many fans may have expected. Ríos is not one of those players whose name suddenly appears out of nowhere. He has been on United's radar for some time, and reports had already suggested the club were interested in him as far back as last summer. Back then, he was still at Palmeiras and was being viewed as a potential midfield solution because of his energy, ball carrying, and all-round physical presence in the middle of the pitch. That early interest matters because it shows this is not a one-week rumor. United have clearly liked him for a while, and that usually means the recruitment team sees something specific in his profile that fits the squad. What makes Ríos stand out is the balance he offers. He is the type of midfielder who can cover ground, progress the ball, and bring intensity without looking out of place in a top European side. That is exactly why clubs like United are looking at him. Their midfield has often lacked a reliable mix of power, athleticism, and control, and if they are serious about improving the structure of the team, a player like Ríos makes sense. The latest reports suggest Benfica are now willing to accept a lower fee than the release clause that was originally seen as a huge obstacle. One update says the asking price could come down significantly, with a deal around £39 million now being viewed as realistic, compared with the much higher figure that once stood in the way. Another report frames that as a major discount compared with the release clause, and that is why this story is gaining traction again. For United, this matters because it turns what looked like a difficult negotiation into a potentially manageable one. That kind of fee is still serious money, but for a club like Manchester United it is far more workable than a deal that would have pushed well beyond what the club wanted to spend. The key point is not just the price itself, but the timing and the market context. If Benfica are already open to selling, and if United are one of the clubs actively monitoring the situation, then the door is open for a move that could happen relatively quickly once formal negotiations begin. One of the most interesting parts of this story is the way Ríos is being described. Some reports call him a warrior and point to his relentless style, while others highlight his ability to carry the ball and drive play forward from midfield. That is the sort of player profile United have often lacked in recent seasons. They have had technical midfielders, they have had deep-lying options, and they have had players who can fill roles, but they have not always had someone who can impose himself physically and still help the team move through transitions. Another reason this transfer is being taken seriously is the amount of football Ríos has played. The headline from the latest Football Fancast piece points to a player who has played 90 matches in a year. Whether that number is being used as a broad marker of his workload or as a way of showing how heavily he has been relied upon, the message is clear. He is a durable, active, high-volume midfielder. That kind of availability is valuable, especially for a squad like United's, where injuries, inconsistency, and fatigue have often disrupted momentum. There is also a tactical side to this that makes sense. United have been searching for midfield combinations that actually work consistently, and Ríos has been viewed in some reports as someone who could partner well with Manuel Ugarte. That is an important link because it suggests Ríos is not being seen as just another standalone signing. He could be part of a more balanced midfield structure, giving United more bite, more carrying ability, and more resilience when they lose the ball. In modern football, that combination is essential. The competition for his signature is also worth noting. Reports have mentioned interest from Fulham and Napoli, which means United are not alone in seeing value in the player. That usually raises the urgency level because once multiple clubs are involved, the one who moves first often gets the advantage. Still, United remain an attractive destination for a player like Ríos, especially if he believes he can compete for major trophies and become an important figure in a rebuilding project. Benfica's stance is another major reason this story matters. The club are known for being smart sellers, and if they are already open to a sale after only one season, that tells you they may believe the timing is right from their side. Benfica paid around £23 million to bring him in, and now they could be looking at a much higher return. That is exactly the kind of transfer business they often do well. For United, however, the important part is whether they can negotiate a fee that reflects the player's current value without overpaying for a deal that still carries some risk. And there is always risk with a move like this. Ríos has not spent years in the Premier League, and moving from Portugal to England comes with an obvious step up in intensity, pace, and pressure. But his profile suggests he can handle demanding environments. He has already shown that he can adapt, compete, and deliver across different leagues, and those are useful signs for a club that needs players who can settle quickly rather than taking a long time to adjust. The broader point is that United cannot afford to keep missing on midfield refreshes. If they want a squad that can compete across all competitions, they need players who bring both quality and consistency. Ríos fits the kind of signing that can improve the floor of the team. He may not be the flashiest name on the market, but he looks like the sort of functional, high-impact addition that can make a real difference over the course of a season. There is also a psychological element to a deal like this. When a club like Benfica is willing to lower its asking price, it sends a signal that the player might be available for the right offer. That can accelerate interest and create momentum. For United, who often end up drawn into expensive and complicated negotiations, a situation where the selling club is flexible is exactly the kind of opening they need. If they believe Ríos is the right fit, this is the moment to act decisively. The phrase "gifted discount" is a strong one, but in transfer terms it captures the mood of the latest update pretty well. United were not expected to get an easy path here, yet Benfica's reported willingness to accept less than the original valuation has changed the conversation. What was once a distant possibility now looks like a realistic target, especially if United can move before a bidding battle develops. So the next few weeks will be important. If the reports are accurate, United now have a chance to turn a long-term scouting interest into a serious transfer push. Ríos brings energy, defensive work, ball carrying, and the sort of physical profile that can help stabilize a midfield. If the price truly has dropped into a range United are willing to pay, this could become one of the more sensible deals of their summer. For now, the main takeaway is simple. Manchester United have been handed an opening, and Richard Ríos is a player who fits the kind of midfield upgrade they have been searching for. The opportunity is there, the valuation is more reasonable, and the player's profile makes sense. Now it comes down to whether United are ready to move before someone else does.